Hi everybody, welcome to Living Traditions Homestead. My name is Sarah, and today I want to talk with you a little bit about goats. This morning I was milking our goats and I realized that all of the planning I had done for our breeding and our breeding cycles has really paid off exactly the way I had hoped, so that we can have access to goat milk all year round. And I know not everybody does things the way we do, but I figured that today would be a great opportunity to share with you all the way that I space our breeding with goats here on our homestead to make sure that we have access to goat milk all year round. Now on our homestead we raise Nigerian dwarf goats. They're a small breed. They don't produce as much milk as the large breeds, but the milk itself is very sweet and it stays fresh for longer, from what I gather from what I've been reading about bigger goats. So we really enjoy the Nigerian dwarf goats. Even though we will be getting a milk cow soon, we will continue to breed Nigerian dwarf goats and use some of their milk. Prior to us deciding to get a family milk goat, we had decided to always keep at least 4 female goats so that we could rotate their breeding cycles to make sure that we had milk all year round. Now, bigger breeds of goats, they only come into season or are only ready to breed once a year. And generally that's sometime between August and January. And they are receptive to breeding for an 18 to 21 day cycle within that time period. And so you can only breed them during that breeding season. Nigerian dwarfs, on the other hand, they actually come into heat and are receptive to breeding every 28 days. So as a homesteader or as a small farmer or whatever, with Nigerian dwarf goats, you can plan what is the best time of year for you to breed and have baby goats and to milk, depending on your schedule. The larger breed goats generally are in milk for about 10 months after they have their babies, and they're dried up 2 months before they have babies again. So they are actually pregnant for 3 months while you're still milking them. Then you dry them off the 2 months before they have their babies. They have their babies, and that cycle starts all over again. When you breed one time per year, there's a time period where there's no milk for you and your family, because you dry off the goats to give them a few months before they have their babies again, so that all the nutrients that they're eating goes into keeping them healthy and growing that baby. With the Nigerian dwarfs and the way that we breed, it allows us to keep milking 2 goats all the time, all year round, so that we don't have any kind of dry period and we don't have to worry about relying on the grocery store or another small farm for our milk. Now I want to just talk with you about the way it works for us, how we do it here, and how it works out, so that maybe you can figure out if that will work for you, and then you don't have to worry about kind of reinventing the wheel. On our small farm, we breed our goats in November and in May. So right now it's the end of April, and we kind of have a transition period here. Rory gave birth to her babies about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and so her milk is just starting to come in really full force and I'm taking the babies away at night so that I can milk her in the morning. So she just had her babies, and so we're just starting to milk her. Coco and Princess, on the other hand, are on their way out. They will be bred in May. So right now I'm drying them off so that when they're in with the males, I don't have to worry about bringing them out to milk them while they're in there. And during the time that they're pregnant, all of the food and nutrients and minerals that they get can go straight to growing those babies and not have to also be producing milk. We start milking the new moms when the babies are 3 to 4 weeks old. When the babies are that old, I start separating them overnight so that I can milk in the morning. Then mom and babies are reunited after I'm done milking, and it also helps the babies get used to eating on their own, hay and those kinds of things, and learning to eat weeds, so that when it's time for them to be completely weaned and go to their new home, they are used to eating all of the things that grown-up goats should be eating. It has worked out very well on our homestead to use that schedule, and all the babies have adjusted well. Another reason why I've decided to breed in those months in May and in November is so that they're having their kids during weather that isn't severe in either way. Having baby goats in the winter can be very stressful, and you need to rely on heat lamps in order to keep them warm. You may even possibly need to bring them in the house at some point if it's getting too cold outside. On the other extreme is having baby goats in the summer. The summers can get really hot in a lot of places, and the baby goats can get dehydrated. They're not used to drinking water out of a bucket and rely solely on their mother's milk to keep them hydrated. And in the summertime, that often is difficult and is hard on them, and a lot of times the babies can really struggle when they're born in the hot part of the year. If you're planning to homestead sometime in the near future and you're considering goats, what questions do you have about raising goats? Maybe I can put together a couple more videos from our experience and with the information that we have. We would love to know. You guys, I hope you enjoyed spending a little bit of time with me today, learning about goats and about what breeding schedule works well for us and why. If you like this video and if you're enjoying our channel, please consider subscribing. Also, share this video and our channel with people you know who might also like our channel. And until next time, thank you so much for stopping by the homestead. Take care and God bless.